What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell. Today on the Hard Count, does Oklahoma need to explore the transfer portal to get another scholarship quarterback? Welcome into CFB with JD, the People's Channel for everything you know, everything you love about college football happens here, happens nearly every single day. Would encourage you to subscribe. You drive the channel. Armstrong, Sims, Jack McKenzie, they do the real heavy lifting behind this channel, okay? One way you can help drive the channel, drive the content that is at my Twitter page, at JD Pickell. We do polls, we do open-ended questions, we do play breakdowns. Anything and everything you want to see happens there, okay? So use that medium to help communicate with us here to get the content that you want to see. So, as it stands right now, Oklahoma has two scholarship quarterbacks between Dillon Gabriel and Nick Evers. Their third quarterback is a walk-on by the name of Ralph Rucker. No knock on Ralph Rucker, but you start to unpack how the situation could go and you say, okay, maybe there's cause for adding another quarterback. So let's start there. Does Oklahoma need to add another scholarship quarterback? The short answer to that is no. You're not planning on playing three quarterbacks. You don't necessarily need a third quarterback. Is it a good idea? Absolutely. Absolutely. More is never a bad idea, so let's break this down a little bit more. Does Oklahoma want to? Is this something even on their radar? You better believe it, because if you rewind the tape a little bit, remember Jackson Dart? USC transfer, now committed to Ole Miss, took an official to Oklahoma when Dillon Gabriel was already solidified more or less as your guy. They were going to bring Dart in, going to let him have a little quarterback derby, battle it out. One thing led to another. Dart saw the writing on the wall, says, okay, that's fine. I'll go to Oxford, Mississippi. So why is this kind of a topic right now? Because in a perfect world, Dillon Gabriel's your quarterback, right? And you redshirt Nick Evers. Football's a physical game. Things happen. What if Dillon Gabriel gets hurt? Nick Evers has to step in, play before he's ready. I don't know. He could be ready. He could be the best thing to ever happen to you if you become your starting quarterback. But I think this staff would like to have him wait a year behind Gabriel. That seems like a very logical explanation for the situation right now. So let's say for whatever reason, Gabriel gets hurt, something doesn't work out with him, you still want Evers to sit, you probably bring in another quarterback. So let's unpack that even more. Let's say you still have your perfect scenario, Gabriel's your quarterback, Evers redshirts. It couldn't hurt to have another quarterback on your roster, especially with Lebby's kind of offense for how much he liked to run Matt Corral at Ole Miss. Maybe you add another quarterback just to be the running threat, right? Because if Evers plays more than 4 games, loses his red shirt, Gabriel, you don't want to probably have him running quarterback power 5 to 10 times a game. Add another big body. So we explore the market as is right now. Who do you even go after? Who's even available at this point in the game? 2 names that pop up to me right now. And this is purely speculation. All we know is they're in the portal, have no idea the interest level that the Sooner staff has on them. But as of right now, Jordan Yates, quarterback from Georgia Tech, several years of eligibility, which is a big deal. Whoever comes in and is the quarterback on this roster, that's the third guy on scholarship, needs to have more than a year of eligibility because he's going to have to be sold on, hey, you're going to be a backup behind Dillon Gabriel, maybe even behind Nick Evers. So Jordan Yates, a guy who is definitely a dual threat. He's about 5'10", somewhere in the range of like 200 pounds. Could be kind of your athlete that plays other positions as well, maybe. Now, I don't know if you could sell him on that, but Jordan Yates is a viable option. The second, on the other side of things, Aaron McLaughlin, NC State transfer. Again, multiple years of eligibility. He's a big body. His comp is Joey Gatewood from Kentucky. He was an Auburn transfer, if you remember him. Kind of more in the mold of a Cam Newton, Joe Milton kind of guy. Now, that's someone that you could just do quarterback power on 3rd and 2. Maybe you get into the goal line, need him to pick up tough yards for you, get in the end zone. So 2 schools of thought here with what you would want in that third quarterback. But I think bottom line, if nothing else, they have to be mobile, have to be able to have a role even if they don't end up playing in somewhat near future. They still have to be able to be your guy if they're not your starter, if that makes sense. Be your guy in the sense that they can do those quarterback design runs, take some hits off of Dillon Gabriel. Now, the reason why this is so interesting to me is because it feels like for a lot of people, those big names outside of JT Daniels are off the board. I think you're going to have a hard time convincing JT Daniels to come to Oklahoma. That's another video. But I bring this up because we still have spring practice to get into. And after spring practice concludes, you're going to have a whole new cycle of this transfer portal stuff. Because right now it seems okay. Everybody's kind of found a home. Musical chairs have stopped. After spring practice, there's going to be a myriad of guys that thought they were higher in the depth chart, that think they should play sooner, that thought they were a better fit for the scheme, that don't like the new staff, whatever it is. There's going to be a ton of reasons. You're going to have a lot of guys out there in the portal looking for a new home. Okay? So that means, A, there's more options for the Oklahoma Sooners to have if they want to sit back a little bit. B, I don't know if we did 1 or 2 to start this, honestly. I don't know if it was a A or we're just going to go for option B, is you have the ability to, I think, sell somebody on that running role, right? Because it's after spring practice. It's going to be a lot harder for someone to pick up the offense during fall camp. You can sell them more on, hey, you're not going to be the starter, but you'll have a role here, okay? So it's just going to be a better marker for Oklahoma after spring practice, and I think they're going to benefit a lot from that because you want to keep Dylan Gabriel healthy, and you want to make sure you can redshirt Nick Evers. Those are the two things that you're operating from if you're Jeff Lebby and this Sooner staff. So a lot to be determined still after spring practice. I think you feel good about your quarterback room any way you slice it. Again, in a perfect world, you don't need a third quarterback. Never hurts to have more. Never hurts to have another guy on the roster that can sling the rock for you a little bit. That's it for us here on CFB with JD on the hard count. Appreciate you tuning in. Would love to have you subscribe. Would love to have you follow me on Twitter at JD Piquel. We're going to do a lot more things here as we start to ramp up. Now, when we hit 5,000 subscribers, we will do a live show. We will do callers, and we'll be able to hear from you. So that's kind of what we're aiming for right now. About 700 away from that goal. Let's get there. Appreciate you tuning in. We will keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time.